Huples cat. I'm getting ready to go on a 4-night, 5-day solo kayak trip down a river, and I need to take my food with me. So I've got my food on my bed. I'm going to decide now what I'm going to take. I'm not going to have resupply, so this is what I'm going to select from. My criteria is to have fun meals that are easy to make and to enjoy myself and have reasonably adequate calories and snacks. But it's going to be critical to keep both the weight and the bulk down because it's going to be a lot of portaging. Generally I use this, but I use the fresher version. But if I'm going camping and kayaking, I tend to take these containers. So in theory I could take 5 of them. But solo camping, moving every day, too heavy. By no means a perfect substitute, but this does help me get the milkiness in my cereal that I want. I have 2 of these left over, so I'll take them. I may or may not use them. But what I normally would do is I would take oatmeal in bags and not buy this. This is a really expensive way of doing it. Because it's going to be the middle of September, it should be reasonably warm. Not guaranteed, but it should be. I'm going to take these. I only need 4 breakfasts for the 4 nights. When I wake up, I want breakfast. So I'm going to take 4 containers of these with the powdered coconut milk in them. I got these a while ago and they're kind of expensive, but they will add something to plain cereal. And there's a bit of chocolate in here and a few other bits and pieces. So I have my dry cereal ready, and I'll be doing 4 of these, and each one's going to have one of these next to it. So what I want to add in here is the milk. It's pricey and there's cheaper options, but I tend just to use the Starbucks instant coffee. I find it works quite well for me, so that's why I use them. I have 4 for 4 days, so that should be enough. I have some tea bags of various types. One of the types of tea bag I put in is this. I hardly ever use it, but if I actually get a bit of a cold or a chill, it sort of helps. The other thing I put into my beverage bag, and I don't use powders to make water taste differently or any of that stuff, that's just rubbish. The other thing I put in my beverage bag is some quite cheap water purification tablets I got a few years ago. Just in there, just as a backup. I do have a water filter, I do have proper water purification tablets, but this is a backup. And last but not least, in my beverage pouch, I put in some matches. You never know, it's always nice to have a source of ignition. I have plenty of Bics, but these matches are in here as a backup. I find my appetite's quite suppressed on these types of multi-day journey, so one of the things I like to take are a few packs of Cliff Bars, Lara Bars and assorted vegan snacks. This is all I'm taking for the 4 days, but I'll often find I'll have 1 or 2 Cliff Bars instead of stopping for lunch. It works for me. Know yourself. Some people eat a lot more when they're doing this kind of thing. I oddly don't. Now the first day I'm going to have breakfast at home and it'll be quite substantial, and then for lunch and dinner I'll be having Kitty's wraps. She'll wrap them up for me, make them, so I'll have avocado and vegan cheese and vegan meats, dipping sauces, delicious vegetables, and I'll use them for the lunch and dinner of the first day. So that'll be my fresh food. In addition, I'll probably carry in maybe 3 or 4 apples. I find they're really nice, especially if it gets hot. Again, I'll be checking the weather forecast because I don't really eat the apples if it's cold. So after that I'm going to need 4 breakfasts, so I'm packing in 5. Always take extra food. You might get stuck somewhere if weather turns bad. This has happened to me in the past. It's not unusual in my part of Canada. A lot of rain. We've already got a fair amount of rain, as you can probably see, but that is a ton of rain coming down. Here, this is getting really bad. I'm leaving my wine cup to see what's going on. Let's get back to the tent. Woo! I'll definitely need lunch. I'll need 4 of them, and that's what I'm going to pack in. So dinner on the 5th day I won't need. Kitty will pick me up and I'll come home and have a great dinner here and probably some wine. But I'm going to take a dinner for that day just in case I get stuck. Weather can turn bad, you can get stuck in a place. It's happened to me before up here. You can't guarantee that there's a road right by the river and you can just hop out and get cell service and be rescued. In fact, for large parts of this, there's no roads anywhere near me and there's no cell service. Kitty got me some green bowl for my birthday and I liked it so much I actually bought extra. I really like these. Tonight for dinner, vegan dinner of course. Got these. I ordered them from the company. They're kind of expensive to post them to me. But the advantage of these are you just pour them out into a bowl, add 2 tablespoons of water, stir it gently over a gentle heat for 4 minutes, and your dinner's done. And what is in this? 20% of my daily fat requirement, 61% of my daily carbohydrate requirement, and 19% other. Some of it will be protein. 12 ingredients, not too happy about that. When I look at the ingredients, I become happier. Water, of course, basmati rice, barley spent grain, carrot pulp. The barley and the carrot pulp are actually recycled from food processing, would normally be thrown out and given to animals to eat. In this case, I'm the animal that's going to eat it. Onion, chickpeas, tomato paste, sunflower oil, garlic, yeast extract. Not too keen on extracts of anything, but it's probably for vitamin content and taste, salt and some spices. Goes off on the 12th of March 2026, so on the 13th of March you have to throw it away. I figure these last about 5 to 10 years when stored in a home and not subjected to extremes of temperature and humidity. Dinner time. So this type of food's a little heavier than dehydrated food, but not much. It's absolutely delicious and it's hitting the spot. I'm hoping I can find this in grocery stores soon. The cost of this is a lot less than dehydrated meals and it's a lot tastier. Bon appetit. And you stir gently over heat for about 4 minutes. When I used these, I stirred it gently over a gas heat, putting it on and off the stove because I didn't want it to burn, for about a minute. It was fine. These are also not dehydrated, but they're going to go with me. I found that if I added these to this, I get a really substantial, lovely dinner with full of flavour. You can get these in the grocery store for not a lot of money. They are in fact vegan. Not all of them are. You have to check very carefully these days. I actually bought some tofu spread the other day, and when I got home I realised it was made with egg yolk, so I gave it to the raccoons. So chickpea corn was good, but I'll probably throw this in as well. This will make a substantial dinner for me along with a couple of cups of coffee. That's all I'm really going to need. Because of the types of food I'm taking this year, I might actually take some naan bread. Most fresh food is not going to survive very long on a trip like this. It's going to get thrown around, it's going to get wet. It's a kayak trip with a lot of camping and a lot of portaging. But I think naan bread, if I store it right, should actually do me for a couple of days. Heat this up, dump it on the naan bread. Paradise. These of course are more traditional, they're much more expensive and they're much more highly processed. I will be taking some of these. I really liked these when I first got them. I don't like them so much anymore. I find they've become very highly processed. They've also become absolutely ludicrously overpriced, so I probably won't buy these again. My favourite dehydrated meal has always been pad thai, so I'm going to take this vegan pad thai. So I'm going to take this and try this one out, see how it does. So now I have to get my 4 dinners and 4 lunches. I probably will be taking too much food. That is not a problem. Like I said, if a storm brews up, I might get stuck for an extra day or even 2 days before I can safely paddle out and get picked up by Kitty. So this is my 4 dinners. And these are my 4 lunches, which I probably won't eat, but I'm bringing them anyway. I always have enough food. So there you have it, my food for my kayaking trip. One of the things I've also done is I've actually sorted out my dehydrated foods and camping foods and sorted out by date. So I have the ones that are not expired and won't expire for a year or 2 sorted out and separate. And the ones that have expired this year or even further back, I think 2020 is my oldest expired packet. I've got in a separate area now, so I can use them as an emergency supply backup. Or once in a while, if I want to do something myself, I can take an expired one and a fresh one, eat the expired one if it's okay. If it doesn't work out, then I will have the fresh one with me. Clothing is going to be minimal. Reading material and lights are going to be minimal. It's going to be a minimal gear, minimal weight trip. I'm kind of fascinated to see how I cope with it. Thanks for watching. Doodles. This has been a 2024 Wolfie Terrier production.